I had the chance to work at Woodstock Sanctuary and come here every morning, it was a very strong healing process for me to see happy animals who were not in factory farms.
We are challenging the dominant cultural objectification of non-humans, right? And that's really important for me on a personal level, but also as a culture.
Just to know that amongst those billions of animals who don't have the chance to choose their life, there is at least a handful of animals who are very lucky and who can have the life that any living being deserves to have.
So we have two senior pigs here at the sanctuary who both needed special care this year. We have Stanley, who we actually realized he actually is deaf. And then we also have Amelia, who is a senior pig here, who needed some special care for a tumor that she had. And so we were able to take her to the hospital and have her get some surgery. And through everyone's support, financial and emotional support, we were able to get her back.
We have a very old turkey here at the sanctuary, and her name is Beatrice. So she's 8.5, which is exceptional. I'm not even sure that there are turkeys in the United States that have reached that age. Beatrice has this demeanor about her, which is really interesting, is she looks very wise to me. Like when you walk in there, she's observing what's happening, kind of like she's looking over her friends.
We had a situation where we had to separate Moby from the rest of his herd. So he broke his leg this year. He's this really very, very sweet goat. He had a series of issues. He had an abscess in his side, and he had a really hard summer. He was in and out of Cornell Hospital, and he was in isolation. And when we were choosing to put him back with the herd, we actually made a decision to put him in with his mom, and he just ran right to her, and they've been inseparable ever since. And it actually made me really realize that we need to be just thinking not about, keeping animals in groups that get along or keeping the residents here together because it's a good herd with a good dynamic, but that we really need to dedicate ourselves to keeping these families together in every way that we can, and that it's our duty to them, and they're going to spend their lives together. And that's really magical, and it's so rare for these farmed animals to have that experience, to be able to actually grow old with their families, and we're so honored to be able to offer it for them.
One of the friendships, the bonds, the family ships that comes to mind immediately is between Elvis and Ralphie. They're two of our eldest steers. Actually, not two of, they are our two eldest steers. They've been together for almost 17 years. Both of them have had a couple of health issues that are mostly age-related. 17 years is definitely older for a steer. Elvis in particular has had some hoof issues. Unfortunately for him, what that means, even though it's perfectly treatable, it means that we have to isolate him at certain periods, and that means separation from his best friend, Ralphie. The obviousness of the bond becomes so apparent when we open that gate back up, because they immediately come back together. They clean each other, they stand there together, they eat together, they sleep together, they run around together. It's hard not to notice.
Woodstock Sanctuary creates a vision of who we want to be. And I don't think it's always who we are, but it's definitely a vision of who we want to be and who we're striving to be. And it's a place where animals can just be themselves and are respected for who they are.
I think recognizing that we're creating this nonviolent space here and really committing to that, and then sort of welcoming people in wherever they're at on their journey is really kind of what motivates me. It's amazing to see, and it really does inspire me to come every day and try to work harder to create that space, and not be perfect, but to keep trying.
It's wonderful that people are willing to be part of what we are doing here, because it's all together, the volunteers, the staff, the donors, that make a difference for these animals.
We're in this together. This fight against industrial animal agriculture is the fight of our generation. And Woodstock Farm Sanctuary wouldn't be here without you. And the rescued residents wouldn't be here without you. Thank you for being there for them, and thank you for being there for us.